Welcome to our speaking for today. Uh, as we all know, rural areas are attractive to encourage people to stay in order to minimize the effect of rural-urban migration. Is a current big issue, which enables you to think about the topics that we had highlighted, and we are trying to solve the issues together by sharing beneficial and interesting ideas and truth, which will be delivered by our guests. Today, we would like to highlight a topic that is quite interesting to be discussed on. Uh, is discuss what the best way to make rural areas attractive to encourage people to stay in order to minimize the effect of rural-urban migration. Um, so today, before we proceed, I would like to introduce our panelists for today. Panelist number one, Winnie Alia. Number two, Divya. Number three, Nurul Damia. Before wasting the time, let start our speaking for today.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Winnie Alia. My matrix number J22A0167. Today, in my opinion, what is the best way of urban migration is develop rural tourism. Before that, rural tourism has a high potential to stimulate local economic growth and social change because of its complementary with other economic activities. It's to promote the dispersal of creation and its capacity to promote the dispersal of demand in time and along a wider territory. Why I think develop rural tourism is the best way is first, rural tourism can create job opportunities in rural areas, create job opportunities and increase the income level by utilizing the local resources. Job based on the local resources are what people who migrated from urban rural areas are looking for. Those type of jobs are peculiar in the rural areas and therefore attract the people from urban areas. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, panelist one. What about you, panelist two?
Transportation is the best way to make rural area attractive to encourage people to stay in order to minimize the effect of rural-urban migration. It's not secret that public transportation continues to present challenges for communities in rural areas, with difficulties in obtaining funding, service frequency, winter travel zone, and lack of access to service compared to urban public transport. Government are in greater need than ever before to improve their transportation service in rural area. When it comes to improving public transportation in rural area, flexibility is a key. The first step is to provide an easy and efficient way for more people to access public transportation. On-demand public transportation, as known as demand responsive transportation (DRT), provides a way to increase the geographical coverage of a traditional public transit service. This means bicycle can cover a large service area and reach more passengers. By utilizing demand responsive transportation technology to improve fleet and give passengers a way to book public transportation, freight operator and transit agencies in rural community can easily improve their public transportation offering. Thank you.
I agree with you, panelists too. I think improved transportation is the best way to make rural areas attractive to encourage people to stay in order to minimize the effect of rural migration. I want to add some point about this point. In addition, the government also needs to improve infrastructure facilities in rural areas. The government should improve transportation facilities need to be built in rural areas. With rural development and improving the living standard of rural people, then they will not migrate to the city. This situation can control the rapid urbanization process. With the advancement of the transport sector, it is easier to rural people to go to work or their destination. For example, the government needs to increase public transport such as taxis, buses and others. I want to add another point about this topic. I think the best way to make rural areas attractive to encourage people to stay in order to minimize the effect of rural urban migration is develop industrial areas. Many people are not interested in working in this field, so they will migrate to big cities. To reduce in this field, so they uh, to, reduce, to reduce this population flow, rural areas can be encouraged to develop in the rural industrial sector, such as the agricultural product processing industry, the handcraft industry, and the food industry. With this, the rural areas will be development. For example, handcraft industries such as the pottery making industry in Sayong Perak, batik songket in Terengganu industry, silver jewelry industry in Kelantan. So with the development of the industrial sector, it can open job opportunities for people, especially for young generation. Therefore, they do not need to go to the city to find a job.
Thank you. I would like to add some point about develop rural tourism. The typical industry using the rural resources are agriculture, forestry, and fisheries. It is necessary not only to promote this industry, but to introduce related industries such as food processing and farm tourism. Thank you.
My opinion, I also quite agree with develop an educational hub as a best way to make rural area attractive. Education is important for everybody, whether they are learning new facts, skills, or traits. Having the opportunity to learn always benefit the individual. Educating communities means developing schools and educating children and leaders. By doing so, rural communities will lead to a healthier and bright future. An education system in rural communities has the opportunity to build capacity and knowledge in the rural populace, helping them to make informed decisions about their farms and to innovate in agricultural affairs. Education also exposes the masses to information and helps prevent the misinterpretation of information. Education can lead to many positive outcomes, such as an improved ability to understand policies, procedures, rights, duties, available benefit, and protection laws. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we come to the end part of our presentation. We will like to say thank again to presenter for the informative and interesting talk and to audience for active participation. Hopefully, the presentation will be beneficial for everybody. Thank you for your attention.